Hello, everyone, and no one, and welcome to another Rotten Movie Reviews. Today, we are reviewing one of my personal favorites that I still to this day don't know how my rural white Midwestern ass ever found this movie that's a year older than I am. But The Last Dragon. Oh, God, I fucking love this movie. This movie has, me knowing this movie has confused more people in the military than it should have. Especially for those, like I said, that realized what rural Southwest frickin' Michigan, Midwestern area I grew up in. They're like, how the fuck did you find that? But joining me, as always, is Tier Alexander. Tier, how you doing?
You are the last dragon. You possess the power of the globe. Sorry.
And we have Angela as well. Angela, how you doing?
Doing okay. I liked that movie surprisingly a lot.
And Will at Forge. Will, how you doing?
He who is colorblind must never follow a horse of another color.
Well, to quote Eddie Arcadia, because I think, was it just you who hadn't seen this before, Angela?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it before.
Oh, okay. So to quote Eddie Arcadia, did I do you a favor? Did I do you a favor?
You did.
Yes, for those who are not aware, The Last Dragon is a 1985 movie, or movie made in 1985, directed by Michael Schultz, written by Luis Venosta, and he went through the whole thing. I might just link the Good Bad Flicks video that I showed them after the movie because he goes over more of it, and it's just so fun. But it just, oh god, it's so good. Timac is Leroy Green, Vandy is Laura Charles, Julius Curry is Sho'nuff.
Sho'nuff?
Yep. Just, oh god.
So bad. So bad. So bad I could not laugh every time he was on the screen, even though he was such a dickhole.
Well, I mean, it's the whole thing, like he said, like to go into it, this was to be a movie in that time frame of really around all the Bruceploitation films that were coming out.
Yep.
But to have, the black martial artist that was the main character. So they did
Leroy the Harlem Ninja.
Yeah. I mean, this was that was Julius. Was Sho'nuff is what you're thinking.
Sho'nuff was the Shogun of Harlem.
Then he did kind of the ninja dress. Yeah, they liked to mix so much shit in there that it's ridiculous for how many of them there were.
As a matter of fact, hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt, Rotn, but now that I think about it, that is a contrast. He's supposed to be a samurai, and Leroy is the ninja.
Yeah.
Huh. That's rather layered. I like that. Learn something new every time I watch it.
But then they got.
Well, I liked my original Leroy the Redneck Ninja, but he's not exactly redneck. He's, Harlem ghetto.
Don't try to make it deeper than it is.
I will still say, because like I know, obviously Vanity being a former musician or singer did her own singing, but the actual really cool thing as well is Faith Prince, who played Angela, that they modeled after Cyndi Lauper with the music that sounds terrible but is still super catchy. She did her own singing as well.
She didn't sound too bad, honestly.
No, she
actually sang pretty well, even though she has a voice that.
I think for that's what it was supposed to be.
She has a voice that cuts on chair.
Good singer doing catchy bad songs.
Yeah. And what'd you say, Angela?
Her speaking voice was more irritating than her singing voice.
Oh yeah, because that's in the role. That's what she was directed to do.
I know. I'm just saying that person.
Have you ever? It's the movie called The Incredible Bulk.
Sounds familiar, but never seen it.
All right, there was a woman who had the squeaky, like the main villain's wife, girlfriend, whatever, had that squeaky voice to it, and it fucking annoys me. But I didn't mind it on her.
I was like sitting here going, "Oh my god, they gave this ditz my name." Oh.
Oh, but Eddie, you're all wet.
Get this thing
And
away.
he goes to wring out his freaking tie.
Tie.
Oh,
Hot heads
She
require
was a little
cool
touched.
water. Hot heads require cooling off. Oh, just you've never seen this movie. I highly recommend it. I mean,
I highly recommend it as well.
they definitely have some people in there that you're gonna be like, holy shit, like of that have played so many different roles. You know, they had the Kesha Knight Pulliam,
Keisha Knight
Polo.
Polo.
Keisha Knight. You know, who was in the Cosbys.
She was Rudy in the Cosby
Mhm.
Show, and she played Polly in the race swap version of Pollyanna, which is actually a really good movie. If you can find it, watch it.
You know, plus Julius Carey was in The Adventures of Briscoe
Briscoe
County
County.
Jr.
Yeah.
It's like, was it Lord Bowler or something?
Baller.
Lord Bowler.
Baller, yeah. Just God, it's such a fun movie.
Joel enough.
Then obviously Ernie Reyes Jr. Freaking
Mhm.
just who's went on to do all sorts of shit.
Yes.
I had such a crush on him when I was a kid.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Enough said.
I used to watch. He was on this show called Sidekicks. That was a it was a Disney show that was launched from a Disney Sunday movie. It was him as an orphaned kid who
Okay.
is adopted by Gil Gerard, who plays a cop. If you don't know
Okay.
who Gil Gerard is, that's Buck Rogers.
I'm gonna need you to narrow it down a little bit more, Angela. You forget two things. I'm not as well versed in the '80s and as you. I came like the ass end. Not to insult you or anything. I'm just saying.
I'll have to explain it to you later.
Okay.
It's a good TV show from a good Disney Sunday movie.
Yeah, the only one I can remember for Sidekicks is actually a Chuck Norris movie.
Yeah, it's the one with Chuck Norris and Jonathan Brandis.
But yeah, just this movie is just so fun. It's so 80s as well.
Oh yeah. Everything about it is 80s.
Yes.
The funny thing is, though, is while it's considered, or the movie was considered a critical failure, it was a box office success. Because again, that
It probably did.
it's that whole thing of it. It's got a $10 million budget, but it grossed 33 million.
I mean, that should be a success. But then again, now success would be making at least. Well, that would be triple its budget.
Yeah, it's the standard for success right now is the production budget
Plus marketing.
Mm-hmm.
plus the marketing, which typically they project equaling about the same as the production budget. So if you more than double the production budget, you made a profit.
But it's one of those things. The considered a failure, from my understanding, is because like it didn't reach as many offset or outreaches of like a lot of people talking about it, kind of like Dirty Harry did back in the day. You know, it's one of those things.
Okay, I get it.
It got a smaller portion. It still resonated with certain groups, just not as many as they were hoping for.
My brother says that this movie and Colors were responsible for the resurgence of Converse Chuck Taylors.
Nice.
Nice.
And then because of them having Barry Gordy, whose name I'm finally starting to get right. I don't know why I kept saying Gordon.
Because Gordy's usually short for Gordon.
Mm-hmm. And you know, with Motown Records, goddamn, it has a fucking banging soundtrack.
Yes, that soundtrack is amazing.
It is so good. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like sitting there, like my co-hosts are probably really glad that we listen in silence because I'm like sitting there singing
Dancing with it as well.
along to the
Yeah,
Well, I can't
same.
exactly dance, but I was giving the monster scritches to the rhythm of the music, which they both enjoyed and got the ever-loving heck confused out of them by. Like, I can't tell if I like this or if I don't, but it's attention.
The other funny thing is the Seventh Heaven disco set. Apparently, Diana Ross visited one time and then asked if she could buy it for her next tour.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, it's one of those movies that when you look into it for a lot of the stuff it is, you can see just how much it affected so many people of just being a cult classic that's like just not known by so many people for some odd reason.
But that's the nature of cult classics.
Mm-hmm.
They never really achieve widespan success, and then eventually they find a niche audience.
Yeah, because
You
that's
know,
because not everything's gonna be like the Boondock Saints, where they somehow get a second movie. And
I
honestly,
mean, look,
I'll still say honestly at this point, I don't think they should make a third. There's been too much
they
time.
shouldn't. But look at The Room. It is a horrible movie. Like from every metric, horrible movie, terrible movie. However, it is entertaining.
Oh, dude, look at the first Evil Dead is a cult classic. The first Evil Dead was considered so bad that a lot of the women who were in it denied being in it for years until they went to a like midnight showing of it years later where it was being like shown once a year and it was a cult classic.
Yeah,
Because like
Until they realized what the audience
mm-hmm.
for the movie was like, the fan base. That's what
Again,
I'm looking.
Shit. Look at. Have you ever heard of a movie called Samurai Cop? I believe it's one of Robert Zadar's last movies.
No, I don't think I know that one.
You never see
I
Samurai
think I
Cop?
might have seen the scene because I got Tommy Wiseau in it.
No, that's Samurai Cop 2.
Oh.
Samurai Cop 1. We have to watch Samurai Cop. We have to watch it.
I want to say it sounds like something out of Seamless.
It is literally a cult. Again, retarded movie, dumb premise, but it is fucking hilarious.
But is it Attack of the Killer Tomatoes bad?
Yes.
Original or remake?
Yes. Original.
Original is fucking classic.
I love the original Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I love Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, but I'm under no delusions that it is a good movie.
Remember Herman Martin.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I know I'm going to miss her. Dun, dun. Tomatoes killed my sister.
I mean, hell, it's
it
that
has
whole
been way too long since I've seen that.
We might have to do that one at some point because like we're in that whole thing of like Nicolas Cage. It's like it's starting to get good for a while, and then he drops off to, as I should say, to not as many people.
It's not that he drops off; it's just that he gets nichey, like with the Left Behind movies.
Yeah, and it's just.
Go ahead. Okay. I love the Left Behind movies, the good ones, the ones that Kirk Cameron was in. The Nicolas Cage Left Behind movie irritated the living shit out of me.
I mean, again, what was the last one we did? I believe last one we did was Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
because I don't think we watched Grindhouse.
Well, we skipped that one because he's not.
I know we saw The last one we did was not Ghost.
No.
Yeah, we did next.
Yeah, because we were getting next in, or the next one we were going to be doing, I want to say, was National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so.
And then Bangkok Dangerous, and then the No. I actually like the Nomi.
You forgot the second Ghost Rider. Or wait, no, that's 2011.
No, that's 2011.
Yeah.
And then it's G-Force, Bad Lieutenant.
Again, it's that
Boy.
whole thing for like G-Force. He's not the main character. He's just a character. We're looking at he's either the main character or like one of the main,
Like the main support.
Yeah, main support.
All right, well then, Knowing, Bangkok Dangerous, Bad Lieutenant, Kick-Ass. We did the Sorcerer's Apprentice, Cities of the Witch. Oh God, we had to do Drive Angry again.
I'm up for Drive
I
Angry
haven't
again.
seen it, so
Yes, you'll like it.
you guys saw that before I started.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
Well, Drive Angry was the second Cage film we ever did because the first one
Was Willy's Wonderland.
was Willy's Wonderland, and Tier was the one who recommended that. So you can't say that I've recommended all the movies.
I liked Willy's Wonderland.
No. Willy's Wonderland was an extremely fun movie.
Wait, you saw Willy's Wonderland before you watched The Wicker Man?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so the way everything went was Tier was the first one to join me in the movie review thing. We went over the Jordan Peele movies. And I was like, well, since we did this, what else? Like, you got any recommendations? And he's like, Willy's Wonderland, Nicolas Cage, animatronics. It was supposed to be the original Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I'm like, all right, let's go through. I was like, oh man, that was good. That's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of Cage and Drive Angry, like one of the few movies I like that actually has Amber Heard in it, and she smiles and she's not a complete bitch. So we watched that one.
And then we did the original Wicker Man, and then we did the
Cage
Wicker Man.
That's when James joined into the chat and was just like, oh, you guys ought to do the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man. I'm like, the only way we could do that is to do the original Wicker Man. And then I think it was either during the original or the Cage one. That's when Johnny Hellcat brought up the whole thing of like Midsummer.
I still hate him for that.
Where I joined in. And it wasn't bad. It was not a bad movie. It was visceral and but it was beautiful.
For how few movies the guy has actually done as like the director and whatnot, he's a pretty damn good one, because even Hereditary was actually pretty good. It's just they're fucked up movies.
Hold on. Hellcat, if you're listening, I'm still pissed at you for recommending Midsummer.
Midsummer. There's no U in it.
Midsummer. I don't care. I'm still pissed that he recommended it because it made us watch Hereditary, and that was a mind fuck.
Now I liked Midsummer, but I hated Hereditary. It like you said, it was well done. It's just I didn't care for the story in general.
Oh yeah, like it's a movie I'm probably not going to watch again, or at least anytime soon. But it was definitely worth the watch at least once. I mean, can you really complain about that with
really quick. I don't know if you intended that to be funny, brother, but think about what you just wrote.
Well, you got to remember, he's just really trying to hammer it home.
He really is.
He's really trying to put that hammer to the head.
Okay, this is a Last Dragon review. We should go back. Chaz Palminteri, I was really surprised to see him in this movie.
Who?
The dumbass with the piranha tank.
Oh, the boxer. Yeah, I liked him.
Mike Starr?
The boxer, yeah.
Yeah, that was Mike Starr. Rock.
Why am I thinking? Okay, then who did Chaz Palminteri play? I know he was in it.
Okay. Scrolling. What? Keep scrolling.
Oh, he was Hood number 2.
Oh,
Scrolling. Keep
So he
the
never
train
got a
rolling.
name, but he was there.
You are a generic villain in this movie. You'll
yeah.
be generic bad guy in a generic bad guy scene.
Do generic bad guy things.
But yeah, there are
forget to be
people in this.
generic.
Freaking William H. Macy.
Oh, yeah.
I did not realize that he had been acting since 1980. But the first thing I ever saw him in was made the year before this, called The Boy Who Loved Trolls. He played the turtle.
Hmm.
And then I was like sitting here going, "Hey, that's William H. Macy." And it is. It was. I was like, "Whoa."
I mean, Lou David is the headline killer.
The headline killer.
The guy that they were recruiting.
The one's
For,
like, I like the gave him the paper and he's like, I like the
The
font or something.
incinerator.
Yeah, the incinerator murders.
Yes,
He's done a lot of
That was
like
that guy.
from what it seems to be like a lot of villains. Or just like extras and stuff and whatnot.
Hey, if the man plays a good villain, the man plays a good villain.
Yeah, they had a lot of like just random bad guy. People.
Oh yeah. I mean they had Timok's teacher and whatnot. He played one of the villains.
They actually had El DeBarge in the movie doing their song.
You are.
Which one's that one?
When they first went into the club thing and the guy was on the screen singing the song, and I can't think of what the song was now, but
Wait,
started.
You're not talking Rhythm of the Night, right?
Thank you.
Oh, that one is that one.
Yeah, it was by El DeBarge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually got
They had El DeBarge do the song, is what I was saying.
Yeah, pretty sure they actually
That is
did
what I
the
said, right?
real music video.
Yeah, because they had Berry Gordy. So they had access to all of Berry Gordy's stuff because of Motown.
I was going to say Berry Gordy produced it. Basically this was a giant
martial arts music video.
Yeah, it was a giant music video showcasing Berry Gordy's collection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they hacked the movie soundtrack game very well there.
Oh yeah.
How do we keep ending up with music video movies?
I mean, we've only had
fun.
It's only two.
Yeah, it's all
Valley Girl in this one.
When it feels like the world is on your shoulders. I don't care. That song's a banger.
We only had two. This one and Valley Girl, technically.
I mean, this one, it makes sense. And I still just love the whole fact for how some of the songs that were made specifically for it, like when, you have the Chinese guys acting black. You sock it to me, I sock it to you. And it's just like, okay. Just nonsense.
Suki, that was really, really bad.
You sock it to me. I sock it to
I
you.
sock it to you.
Then just a little dumb shit they did of having, Timok eat popcorn with chopsticks.
Yes.
I'm like sitting there. Go ahead.
I was actually going to do that during the movie, but I've not been feeling up to popcorn, so suffer in silence. Almost.
They go to the kid's house and his family's at the table, and I'm sitting there looking at Keisha Knight Fulham in a high chair at way too old an age. I'm like sitting here going, number one, that girl's too big for a high chair.
She's like 3 years older than me and Rotn.
Mama-san, Papa-san.
People said I was weird for starting a pizza joint. Now everybody knows.
No, she isn't. She's way older than
You
that.
just directed your
I
pizza
was
to
gonna
Daddy
say,
Green's
dude,
Pizza.
You should not pull him as far older than that.
She was born last year, 79. Wow. I take it back. My bad.
She's younger than me, but definitely older than you.
She's ancient by my standards.
Ouch.
Angela, we've been over this. You're only 25.
Yeah, like
Ouch.
for the actual like soundtrack album they released, it's like you obviously had Vandy, but you also had Stevie Wonder, Rockwell, obviously El DeBarge, The Temptations, uh, Sarita Wright, Smokey Robinson. Like they had a lot. And then like the chick who did the song Fire apparently did, like after she released that, didn't do anything for like fucking 18 years. Y'all still there?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay.
But yeah, I knew who the main girl was. I did not realize that it was the Prince girl.
Yeah.
And until we watched the thing afterwards. It's ridiculous how many people died of cancer in this damn movie.
Or drug addiction.
Well, she didn't die of drug
drug
addiction,
but she almost
She died of cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly.
I just really hope this is another one of those movies that I just really hope Hollywood never remakes.
I agree.
I'm not sure they could
Now
actually.
that you said it, somebody's going to.
There are three movies that should never get remade.
With modern woke culture, I'm not sure there actually would be able to.
I don't think they
would
can.
have the whole premise of the black folks acting Asian, the Asian folks acting black alone should spike it.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and it would never get done properly.
Well, that's why he doesn't want them to remake it. I mean, how aside from modernizing effects, how are they going to improve on the original?
I mean, if it was done as an indie project who wasn't a wokester who honestly loved the original, it probably could get made. It could get a worthy successor. But
80s cocaine, brother. It's not still a hell of a drug.
But again, there's three movies that should never be remade. You should never remake Casablanca, Last Dragon, and hear me out. Don't kill the messenger. Trolls 2.
I was also going to include the Princess Diaries.
The Princess Diaries as well.
I was going to say the Princess Bride and Labyrinth.
That's it, the Princess Bride.
Yeah. But again, Trolls 2 is chef's kiss. Perfect. They're eating her, and then they're going to eat me.
Here, I am 90% certain that is something you probably will not have to worry about ever.
I'm glad, because that movie, perfect. It holds a special place in my heart.
See, I could see an indie group doing like the New Dragon. You have like Bruce Leroy's son or grandson.
That'd be kick-ass.
But it would have to be a completely indie production done on the same premise as the original as far as that. But there would have to be some new twist because you've already got the you are the man. Well, I don't know. So maybe the master we're looking for is the friends we made along the way.
Oh no.
I don't know how well the Wu-Tang Clan would fit in, like, in this movie.
They would be a great. They honestly, they would be kick ass. Depending on who you got, like RZA Because RZA did Ghost Dog, and he did what's his face? Man with the Iron Fist.
Mr. Scott.
February
February should be
exploitation film.
show enough.
Don't
I'm
know.
gonna make the same argument that I keep trying to make with Quiz and Adam. You should not do February as Blaxploitation Month. We should do June as Blaxploitation Month, where they actually created a holiday to exploit.
Oh yeah,
Black.
to do the Juneteenth thing.
Yes.
Okay, you got me on board.
I could get behind that one. Let's look up some.
Why not have
some-
do both?
No, I was gonna say for anything we
Because
should.
I really don't think I can handle that many black.
Nah, what we should do for.
Well, I mean, the
hold on,
13%
hold
of
on.
the population.
Hold on. What we ought to do for February is instead of blaxploitation movies, we'll do Bruceploitation movies.
Oh. even better.
Oh.
Ooh.
Granted, it means I'm then going to have to actually try to find some because I know they
Play 'em.
exist, but they're
Actually,
fucking.
you know what? That works out. Okay, this is gonna sound utterly racist, but
It is.
deal with me or bear with me. That is in perfect timing with the Chinese New Year.
I don't see how that's racist.
No, that's-
Well, I mean,
that's a fact.
it wouldn't be in that whole thing because the Bruceploitation films were the films that went through, and for some of them in that time frame, people would just put Bruce Lee's name on it, even if he wasn't in there.
Well, they
All I'm
also,
saying is a bunch of Mushu
Wait a minute.
movies for Chinese New Year month would be hilarious.
hold on. So what they did was they would have it wouldn't be Bruce Lee with two E's. It would be like Bruce Lie with one I, L-I, or Bruce Lay with E-L-I.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just gets ridiculous. There's a shit ton of Bruceploitation movies I could suggest because I've seen a lot of Bruceploitation.
There we go.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
My uncles loved Mushu movies. I
love
a
Mushu
whole
movies
lot.
too.
I saw a whole lot of Mushu movies when I was a kid. Don't ask me the names of them, but
Shit,
Never
I
seen
got
one I haven't liked.
an
Huh?
extensive collection of kung fu flicks because I like kung fu.
I mean,
movies.
in all technicality, with how it goes for that, Last Dragon could kind of, in a way, be considered a Bruceploitation film.
it is.
So,
It killed
Chinese
two
people.
birds with one stone.
The only thing is that's different of it is it's not putting all of that on the cover.
Actually,
Well, there's that,
Well,
and they
what I-
actually got the
Hold on.
they got the licensing.
Hold
for all
on.
of the
Well,
footage.
yes, they got the licensing for the footage. What I mean by they're not doing it like the other ones do is because quite literally they would put, like Tier said, some form of like Bruce Lee, but a variation of how his name was spelt on the cover, naming the
Well,
main
yeah.
character Leroy, but everyone calling him Bruce Leroy is not necessarily the same. That's why I said it's not by wholehearted definition from everything I've seen a Bruceploitation film, but it is a Bruceploitation film.
So it's a cartoon called the Legend of Chinese Gods. It is considered a Bruceploitation movie, even though it doesn't say Bruce Lee. Like there's literally a character in there who is clearly Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah, they've done that for so much shit. They do that in like every fighting game as well.
Yeah, but it's still considered by every definition a Bruceploitation movie.
Just the typical most common denominator of like a Bruceploitation film is them trying to put some variation of
Oh, yeah.
spelling for how Bruce Lee's name is in there.
Hey.
Uh,
Fun fact, I just got the notification that we're live.
yay!
Hey, if you didn't know, we started streaming like half hour ago.
Hey, at least you got the notification. I didn't even get that.
Yes, but we haven't been live until now.
Yep. Technically, we're not live.
I have not gotten any notifications of this show being live. I guess we're Memorex.
Are there any cage exploitation films? I think every movie Nicolas Cage is in is a cage exploitation film.
A lot of them. There are a lot of them. I wouldn't say all of them.
Cage is a Cage-ploitation film. No.
Oh,
What's his name? George Clooney. All his movies are George Clooney exploitation film. He plays George Clooney in everything. He's the only Batman that did not play Batman.
That's
Wow.
kind of true. He was just George Clooney in a bat suit.
Really. At least Val Kilmer tried to vary his voice. And I still say the best Batman is going to forever be Michael Keaton.
My favorite Batman is still Ben Affleck.
Oh, we know you got no taste. Okay.
I mean,
Number one, I really like Old Man Batman or Old Man Bruce Wayne. Number two, he looked the best in the suit.
Okay, like I said, we don't count for taste. Got and you question my love for Vampire's Kiss. I'm questioning your love for Ben Affleck.
That's fine. You can judge my my love of Batfleck.
I mean, I still say best Batman is the voice actor.
Oh,
Kevin Conroy.
Mm-hmm.
that is by far the best Batman. I'm talking about best
Animated Batman.
No, I still say he's better Batman. Like, even though he doesn't have to do all the get up and everything, just for so much of it, I don't care about a lot of the live action stuff.
Yes, but Jason Mewes doesn't take roles where he has roles that are something other than Jason Mewes. Sorry, this is
it's basically him supposed to be like either a smart version of himself or him. Because I want to
even
say
that one horror movie that he was in. I'm not treating anyone like a sexual object. What?
And who cares if they are?
You and me, babe, ain't nothing but mammals.
Oh God, no! I'm not finishing it, Will. I'm not doing it.
So do it like
I wasn't expecting you to.
Discovery Channel. Go back now.
I wasn't asking you to.
You knew very well that I might.
Actually had not crossed my mind. Probably should have, but did not cross my mind. Just
I don't
bouncing references. You should know me in references and musical references by now.
True.
Ben Affleck
is. I'm not gonna lie and say I don't think Ben Affleck is attractive.
Lie.
Did you say lie or why?
I said lie.
I said I'm not going to say I don't think he's attractive. He is attractive. I am going to say that I think part of why I think that part of why I think he is attractive is actually his talent over his look.
Lie.
So she's claiming talent over aesthetic.
He's not really my type. If you look at him, he's really pale.
And you know what? I'm gonna throw my cards on the table and say, draw. I'm calling bullshit on that.
I like him better when he's out of shape. Because I do not like a six-pack, and when he's working out, he tends to develop one.
I'm curious that I believe you noticed that he has a six-pack. Clearly, you're looking at his abs.
His physique. Yes.
Oh dear Christ! I'm going to interrupt that whole thing. Dear, you're bitching about someone looking at women or looking at men that they might find sexually attractive. You do that with women. Don't fucking care. Moving on.
Don't deny it.
Thank you.
That's my issue. She denying it.
No, she didn't say that she's not going to say he's not attractive. She wasn't denying shit. You're being stupid.
I'm being pedantic, but
She was refusing to declare the lie.
it's okay. We all know you're lying. You like that tone physique.
Ugh.
Very few people can pull off the whole, like, I actually cut for that. Like having the six pack and everything.
I do not like a six pack. As soon as you can see a six pack on a person, I literally stop seeing their skin. All I see is their muscle structure underneath their body. Like
I got a
underneath their
cake.
skin.
And the only place you
And
should really see that is at their fucking arms.
It gross for some reason it's a six pack that does it. It's and I can like trace it back to I was fascinated with this human anatomy book that my mom got with our set of encyclopedias
Mm-hmm.
that had the whole thing where you it had the like plastic pages where you peeled back the pages and it showed each layer as you went down.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, when someone has a six pack, I stop being able to see the skin layer, and all I see
Is muscle.
is the musculature.
So what do you think of Bruce Leroy?
I mean, he is the
Yes.
master.
He is.
I did not see his stomach, so I don't know if he has a six pack. He was not an unattractive man.
Yeah, for this movie, because even though they had him without his shirt and that
Yeah.
whole thing, he didn't have a six pack from what I can remember.
He was a little baby faced.
Well, that was the point, was they wanted him to look
Yeah.
innocent.
The only reason you should see a six pack is if it's walking out of a liquor store.
Nice.
If I walk out of a liquor store with
Or
a
if
six
you're
pack,
watching-
it can leave with a keg.
If you're watching a basketball game and it's shirts and skins, but hopefully nobody has a six pack. Hopefully it's just a nice in shape dude
Angela,
that's not that defined.
No, he doesn't.
Do we need to
He doesn't have a six
let you
pack.
go? Angela, do
Huh?
we need to go and do we need to let you off so you can
No.
okay. I'm just asking, just throwing it out there. No judgment here. No judgment.
Oh,
See, he
God.
doesn't have a six pack.
Say,
Oh, he doesn't.
Nope.
That's nice.
Oh,
He's just kind of trim.
Yeah. Yeah, he has the Bruce Lee look of he's more cut than anything.
yeah. What is it called? A live look.
Well, it's one of those things you can definitely tell he works out, but he's not the person that's going for raw muscle mass.
He works out and he's not wiry, but he hasn't bulked up either. He has more of a dancer's physique.
He doesn't.
Mr. Scott.
He doesn't have like the Schwarzenegger thing going on.
Hold on, really quickly, Mr. Scott. Have you seen one of our reviews? We go off on tangents all the fucking time.
I also think that they think it's funny that I'm actually talking about how men look for a change.
Yeah, we are.
Since usually we just listen to Tyr talk about titties.
Titties are amazing. Who doesn't like tits?
I mean, look, for the frickin' time frame of that whole thing, like, Timac is an attractive man. Fucker's in shape
Why
too.
you
Like, you
gay?
can definitely tell that he works out.
Rodney?
Tyr,
Why are you gay?
Tyr, there's a big difference between being able to admit someone's attractive and then it's like being like, I want to bang them. Why did you immediately go to thinking that? Dear, do you need to share some with the class? Is there something about you that you didn't tell everyone?
Look,
He's
what I
seeming awful
fantasize about.
closeted.
Excuse me, I'm not calling it. We do not kink
He's very
shame here.
open about his attraction to men.
You don't kink shame here. Don't kink. This is a kink shaming free zone. All right.
I didn't kink shame you, and you know
I
it.
didn't think I was shaming any kinks. Just commenting about somebody being closeted.
I mean, the only person that
He
you
was absolutely hilarious, Mr. Scott. Sure enough, I could not look at
Sure
him
enough.
when he was on the. It did not matter what that man was
well,
doing.
hold on, since we
He could
had
be beating someone to a bloody pulp,
the whole thing.
and I was laughing my ass off.
And Tier, the only people you kink shame are the ones who like to be talked to derogatorily.
Oh, okay. I like to be spit on. There, I said it.
I think you got that backwards. That's shame kink, not kink shame.
Oh God, we're assholes, aren't we?
Well, you are.
Proudly.
Oh,
I'd never deny it.
Am I the meanest?
Right, Will Forge.
But yeah, I thought Show Enough was hilarious, dude. I could not keep a straight face
I'm still
looking at that man. I thought the little white dude was scarier than Show Enough.
I'm still curious of like how many people watched that Buster Rhymes music video where he does that whole thing and did not get the reference at fucking all.
Probably young kids not understanding what it was.
Or more white kids.
Did you see him wearing the look like he was wearing the basketball, the football padding without the pads? That shit looked fucking hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
It angered me that he only brings one of his henchmen to fight with him instead of bringing like the entire little squad of his.
Well, they obviously weren't going to have the women.
That would have been funny to have them fight.
They don't show the other black henchman because the white henchman gets his ass beat by Ernie Reyes Jr. and Glenn Eaton.
Yeah, but it's
because Leroy's not here. Perhaps I can interest you in a medium-sized Oriental. Oh no, thanks. I'm not Jewish.
Yeah. Do you see the when
they were in the? Thought she was so.
Did you just see the little gag that when he was in the movie theater and kick his ass, baby, kick off for the face. the tranny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Oh wow!
I just like when the one who brought up the whole thing of like, why don't you sit down and shut up when it's an overweight dude in a small ass tank top that has a jacket over it and it's pink. Like he goes to throw his jacket off and it's just like, oh yeah, this fucking movie is so 80s.
Okay, he does remind me of Cleon from the Warriors.
But why watching the movie theater scene and everything, like, is everybody in this theater a kung fu fighter?
Yes, everyone
and everything is like.
Go ahead.
No, it's just all the ones that went to go fight Show.
Yeah, it's just seemed like they kept lining up to get beat down.
And he bit a guy's foot.
I feel like Bad was after this, but Beat It might have been before this, and he did remind me of Michael and Beat It.
Well, you got to remember for this movie as well,
like all of the red and black and zippers.
It was meant to be a parody in a lot of cases or satire of a lot of martial arts movies, to where it was poking fun at the things that they loved and also kind of making fun of the things that it's like really making fun of things they didn't like. Of course, it's a movie that in real life they're not going to all come at you at once, and you're going to get to fight them one at a time.
Right. That is not how a fight works.
So there's a Eddie Griffin joke where he goes, um, when Bruce Lee walks in, you see the old Chinese guy go, Wang, Chang, Woo, and they all three of them jump up and he just fucks him up. And he goes, you can either fight me all at once, you can fight me one on one, and he beats the chest, or you can fight me all together. And Eddie Griffin goes, you just sent the next group like, yo, you just sent your 18 to fuck them up, yo. And he just whipped their ass. Why don't you show us what to do? If you can't fuck them up, I'm gonna train with him.
Yeah. I remember that joke where he's just like, "You, the teacher, teach."
Show us how it's done.
And of course, they had to have the thing in the theater as well. Like, it's like, who Blue Sugar? It's like, that's the only man that stands between show and total supremacy.
I think that was Beat It, brother.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
Beat It.
Wesley Snipes was considered as plausible for the role, the lead role.
Which movie had Wesley Snipes and Michael? That was bad.
That was bad? Okay.
Yeah. Beat It had the guy that was in New York, the Hispanic guy that was in New York undercover. Oh fuck. I have to look it up. New York Undercover. It was an old TV show.
I mean, I'll still say for Julius Carey, who played Show Nuff, for a man who did not know any martial arts when the movie started, he did very well.
Well, good coaching and
yeah, that came out after
Michael De Lorenzo.
That came out after this movie.
Yeah.
2 years after this movie. So it was it definitely would have been Beat It over Bad.
Yeah, he was a backup dancer for Mike. He was in Thriller too. Wow, I didn't know that.
Because in Bad, he wore the black leather jacket. The red leather jacket was in Beat It.
It was the one with all the fucking buckles and shit. And Bad, and then, like I said, Beat It with the red one. Yes.
Oh shit! I didn't realize freaking Julius Carey was in 2 freaking episodes of Jag.
Perfect.
Yeah, like
nice.
Oh, the man's got a very distinct career. But it's one of those things like he can play a good. He's one of those characters, or was one of those actors that he could play a good guy or a bad guy.
well, and so can I, but the bad guy's more fun.
And Beat It was 1983, which was 2 years before this.
Beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Be defeated.
Finish him.
That was awesome.
Show me how funky don't get your fight.
Officers, I'm so glad you're here. Me and my friend, Mr. Nuff, we were just minding our own business. We got accosted by some hoodlums.
Yeah.
Mr. Nuff.
Whatever you say, Mr. Nuff.
That was Beat It was back when I actually was still into Michael Jackson. I liked Bad. I think up through the Smooth Criminal album.
Moonwalker, and you're talking about
that was when I stopped. Like after the Moonwalker movie came out, was
I like Moonwalker
because I actually had. I'm saying it. It was the stuff after that I started losing interest.
Well, I had to give up after I never learned if Annie was okay. So
yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, is Annie okay? Is she okay, Annie?
I mean, you have to realize that she was hit by and struck by a smooth criminal.
Good point.
And we found blood stains on the carpet, so.
Well, I mean, I've gotten bloodstains
Who
on the
was
carpet
Billie
just from a
Jean's lover?
nosebleed.
Who was Billie Jean's
That's
lover?
That's the real question. Who really was the kid's baby daddy?
That's true. Who was
I
the kid's
mean,
baby
she's
daddy?
just a girl that thinks that he's the one.
But the kid ain't his son. That's the see. Maybe that's all connected. Billie Jean shot.
I mean, we're
Annie.
also gonna wonder until the end of days and what's on Joey's head.
Oh yeah. I want to know who.
Well, I mean, it
who's
should be in
watching
the
them.
photograph, right?
Plausibly.
No. I got a better question. I want to know if somebody was really watching Norman Rockwell, or was he just paranoid? Nice.
Why?
Why not?
I leveled up apparently.
Oh shit! Apparently, this was the film debut for not just Ernie Reyes Jr., but Ty Mack, Leah Chang, and the guy who played Johnny, Glenn Eaton.
Wow.
They did say that Timac had never done any
Yeah.
acting in the
Yeah, because it was
He's
Yeah.
a kickboxer.
yeah, because it was Van Cleef who had done his own stuff before and was his coach. Was just like, hey, you ought to try out for it.
We're looking for a real martial artist for this one. You should try it out. I can't act. We'll coach you.
I mean, for what it was not bad. I mean,
from what I hear, what Meatloaf wouldn't do for love is actually cheat. But
I won't do that. No, I won't do that. Still trying to figure out what that is. I got a better question, and no one can
they
answer.
really were. The filming locations were excellent in this movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, well, they used a warehouse, a actual
studio.
dance studio, all in New York.
A
A
factory.
soundstage that was a converted bread factory. So I mean,
Yeah.
they actually went to New York knowing it would cost them more money to do because they wanted that real New York feel that Canada doesn't give you.
Never say anything.
You didn't care for Jason Takes Vancouver, huh?
Nope. If he's going to take Manhattan, he should have been in Manhattan.
Well, I mean, if they're gonna pull that bait and switch, I got no problem with him killing them all.
Again, what is that?
Oh, and apparently, Christopher Murney, who played Eddie, when his head went into the tank, apparently he hit his face on a metal pipe in there that was supposed to cause the bubbles.
That's why he was cut on his nose.
Yep.
That's why he has the cut in his face. Because it's near one of his eyebrows.
Because I was looking at it going, he must have been supposed to have been pulled out before the fish could get him, and then I saw the cut on his nose.
Well, even though
if the fish got him, it would have been.
Even though for that time frame, it was still a common misconception that piranhas would do something like that. The ones that were shown to Roosevelt over that had been starved.
Yeah, you keep them well fed. I mean, they'll still
in normal nature, and
they'll nip at you.
No, in normal nature, they tend to leave you alone. Like
they prefer animals that are more natural to the habitat.
Yeah,
or
already dead.
They prefer stuff that they can take down, and you're bigger than it.
Let me tell you, if they're starving, they don't care if you're bigger than them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you're hungry, you do a shit you wouldn't do. Jason, take a boat ride.
I was going for the reference to Canada as New York, or I would have said Jason takes a boat ride, brother. I am.
Don't let me choose it.
I do know our
Oh,
code.
they need an exploitation film of Bruce Leroy defeating Trudeau-looking character in the
Okay, great.
Oh no.
Oh, and apparently in the
Oh.
extended fight with Ernie Reyes Jr., that's actually him fighting his dad.
Nice.
Bruce Leroy Jr. I was projecting that they could do a follow up with,
Well,
you know,
you
the
gotta remember
new
it's
Dragon.
it's Bruce Leroy Green Jr.
Yeah.
Even though it's just Leroy Green Jr.
It's Leroy Green,
Yeah.
but he's Bruce Leroy.
He's given the title of Bruce.
Well, it kind of helped them come up with Bruce Leroy when he showed up in a rice paddy hat and
Yeah.
and a
Design.
traditional.
They took his hat
traditional-
though.
Well, he gets it back, or he has another one, or whatnot.
Some dumb goy. That.
There's the
When-
master.
Okay, when Mr. Scott first showed up with that, I was wondering if it was like a reference to Hanukkah or something, because I
Well,
did
It
not.
is.
yeah, because goy is a Yiddish word that means non-Jewish person or
Yes,
Gentile
I know.
English. So technically, the pun is some dumb non-Jew.
Yes. Some stupid Jew. Non-Jew. Yes.
I was sitting there going, I thought it was a reference to me. I'll be honest. I was like going, is this because Hanukkah just ended? I'm confused.
And apparently, the director for this one, he had two films that dropped in 1985. It had this movie and Cush Grove.
Weed Rose.
Cush Grove. Or Crush.
Crush.
Yeah, Krush. Sorry.
I was
This
gonna
one
say,
with
Kush Grove sounds like a pot field.
Yeah.
It really does.
It is
sound
a
like-
yeah.
battlefield. Is that
story of a man who started a new hip hop rap label called Crush Groove. Crush Groove. God damn it, my fucking
Groove? Double O.
eyes are
Double
losing
O.
everything. So I'm terrible.
It's okay, Rotn. We still hate you.
I mean, it's bad enough I have the whole inside joke with a couple of coworkers that my brain will misread shit. And I meant to read something that on our paperwork said light gray primer. And I read it as light gay primer.
Oh my God. Rotn.
So
Oh,
we had a whole joke that is actually like a gay Nazi villain. You know, he's a light gay primer. And then later on, I had one that quite literally said Stone Gray, and my brain rearranged the letters. And when I looked at them, I'm like, who the fuck is Stone Gary?
Stone Gary.
Mr. Scott, I am used to Jew jokes popping up when I am in a group. That's it's just part and parcel of the people that we hang out with. I don't take it personally.
I mean, I'm still waiting
That's
for her
why I
Jew
was
gold.
like, and I keep telling you to tell me where it is. I don't mind sharing if I know where it is, and I have.
It's on the Death Star of David. I told you this shit before.
Yeah, well,
What?
I don't know where the Death Star of David is.
Obviously, it'd be in orbit, wouldn't it?
I just need her access
I
codes.
need the coordinates so that I can take my shuttle there.
Like I know. I just need your access codes.
Jesus Christ, this
They
No,
sounds like
because
it's starting
then
to be
you'd
some of that
steal
stupid
all-
ass sovereign citizenship.
Then you'd steal all of my Jugal,
Yeah, I would steal
and
it.
I'm not okay with that.
Angela, if you know I got it, it's not theft.
It is that.
You see, he's leaning into the curve here.
Black people are thugs.
Tier, Tier, you own a house and I live in a screen porch. Tell me that I don't have reason to suspect that you've already stolen my gold.
Angela, I cannot confirm nor deny that I found your access code and took your Jugo for the Death Star David along with someone else's Jugo that I'm pretty sure is going to cut me. But can't confirm or deny it.
Mr. Scott, I got a name for the villain in my movie: Light Gay Primer Fidel Cuckaroo.
Like,
Premier. He's a light gay premier.
and if hypothetical question, just hypothetical, if I were to give you a small percentage of, if I had it now, imagine if I had said Drew Gold that belonged to you, and I gave you a small percentage of it back, we'd still be friends, right?
A small percentage of it?
Yeah.
How small of a percentage are we talking?
20.
How dare you?
40?
25.
40?
Oh,
I'll be back
right.
in just a moment.
you drive a hard bargain. 30. There it is. Done.
This
All right, now
so
it's
wrong.
60 and you get the lower percentage.
I just keep it there. I ain't got to change
See,
it.
make it 100-0, or you hit him with the charges on it, and after he gives you the 100%, you'll consider a donation. Consider.
Yeah,
Will is now my negotiator.
You know what, Andrew? I'm gonna just give you all your Jugo and just go steal more Jugo from the Death Star David.
I'm
I was just
down.
thinking.
Where's my gold?
I'll send it to you by mail.
I will not change my access code for you.
Sweet, thanks.
Yeah, Clown, what's the amount you own?
Clown, you want some? I can still use. I don't mind making
Dude,
runs.
He's my brother. He gets half.
Not my take.
You know, I'll still have
Not
to say,
not of what you steal from somebody else. When you give me the 100% of mine back,
Okay.
he gets half.
Well, it's more than 100% now because he's been holding on to it. He owes you interest.
Well, whose side are you
Nothing
on?
is serious, but hey, I've been engaged now as a negotiator. I'm gonna drive a hard bargain.
Well, whose side are you on?
Angela's, she's a nice person, right?
What the hell?
I've been on the corner. I've been there.
We've all been on the corner.
I've been there too, and yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if I'd call it hell, but
You haven't been on that as many times as we have.
I'd say it's definitely purgatory.
This is my honest to God opinion. Frosted and Tari are demons from hell sent to torture Jack, and we're all just collateral damage. And Moonshock's just there.
so quite literally, you're doing the, can't remember which one it is for Charlie the Unicorn, where it's like, you know what I think? I think I died a long time ago. You two are my eternal punishment.
That is.
No, my passcode is not some dumb goy. I actually had never heard of that until you showed up in chat. And then it turned around and ended up being in the movie.
Mr.
Well,
Scott.
no, it made an appearance in the movie before he changed his name to that in the chat. But it was only
I missed it. I completely
spoken,
missed
not
it.
printed out.
Yeah, it's because his.
I think that was when I was on my. I had fallen into the William H. Macy pit for.
No, this was before the William H. Macy thing happened, because this is before.
Really?
Yeah, because it's his master one says, he says, seek the wisdom of some of them goy. But the way he says it,
I did not get it.
It goes into that.
I did not get it.
Yeah, it did. The master said it.
I still say that the studio should have backed the fuck up and let them have the extended fight scenes. I mean, could you imagine 3 to 5 more minutes of the freaking theater fight scene?
That'd have been nice.
That would have been great.
I'm kidding. We all know it wouldn't have been that fight scene. Like the extended fight scene would have been the one in the club
Yeah.
with all
That'd
the
been great too.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, they could have, done a split on that, put like 80% of the funds into the dance club scene, and then 20% into the theater. They could have stepped that up just a little bit more.
Because it's that whole thing of like it actually pretty cool to see like the whole thing of like how good his actual students are.
First, I said like,
which
the villagers are coming.
Which the really funny thing for that whole thing is like, though he's a martial artist, he wasn't a kung fu martial artist. He did a little bit like that one, trying to find the thing that has it. Yeah, because like he so he didn't do like the one the wing, I think it's like the Wing Chang that Bruce Lee originally did.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did do
he
did do some of the Jeet Kune Do and Chinese Goju. Well, he teaches a Chinese Goju, which was what was created by Timac's instructor and close friend Ron Van Cleef.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? It was said in the Good Bad Flick movie how Timac's style was flowy and fluid, and Shonuff's was aggressive.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Well, they had to coach both of them for that.
Well, they had to coach Timac in his acting.
And I'm pretty sure he's already had experience with that style, being that he was his
he
coach.
was a kickboxer. They did have to coach him a little bit for the more flowing style. Was one of the things I took away from that. Now, for sure enough, they had to coach him on everything martial arts, but he had
because he had nothing.
He had the personality for the character.
Well, yeah, because
he had the look and the feel.
He was already a well-trained actor with a lot of stuff under his belt.
Shit, they did it they filmed this in 44 days.
Yeah,
a little over a month. For getting that
almost a month and a half.
Done, yeah, getting that done within that time frame is fucking amazing. Like 44 days for Shonuff to get proficient enough to at the very least.
That's how much they filmed. We don't know how much they did beforehand, before they started filming of him working with those others.
Well, they said production took like 2 years. So maybe that was what it was too. Getting Shonuff trained.
I don't think it was all of that. Son of a bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I want to say, if memory serves me correctly from what he was saying on that one, is that it's like it took them 2 years to basically get it to where they could go through and do everything. So they probably had a little bit of like post or pre-filming stuff, and then did the post, and then did the filming. He didn't say how much was like done before they got approved to start filming.
Well, most of the writing was done before they got approved to start filming.
Yeah. Yeah, then apparently one of them tried to Schultz apparently deleted like 40 pages of the script one night. So the writer the next morning spent the entire day redoing it, or both of them did.
Oh, that just hurts.
Yeah, because Schultz decided, because it's under pressure from the studio, trying to cut the budget by $2 million. Director Michael Schultz and screenwriter Louis sat up all night in a hotel room rewriting the script. When Benosta fell asleep, Schultz decided to delete 40 pages of the script. When Benosta woke up the next morning, the pair spent the day recreating the deleted material.
It probably was an accident. If they were trying to recreate the material, then it must have been he accidentally did it.
So then apparently one of the other people considered for the role of Sho'nuff was Jim Kelly.
Man, confounded comic book.
And he said no because he didn't want to play a villain.
Oh,
We could have had him as the villain. Oh,
Well, that's his decision and whatnot. So
some people don't want to get known as the villain, though.
Well, it gets very easy to become typecast if you're not careful.
yeah,
yeah.
Exactly, and I can't imagine somebody being like, sure, I'll be the villain in every movie from now until the end of time.
I mean, Sean
would.
Bean. I would. I'm the
Sean
villain in
Bean
real
is
life.
not the villain in everything.
No, he just gets killed in almost everything.
He does get killed in almost everything. I think I've seen him live once. I saw him live in National Treasure, and I think that's
from
it.
everything I can think of, like pretty much there isn't a single actor that has been typecasted as just a villain. It's like, for their entire career. They might play a villain more often, but almost every single person who's played a villain has also played a good guy at least a couple times.
Christopher Walken. It's rare that he plays a good guy. He is typecast as the villain.
But he has played a good guy.
Yeah, he's also played someone who's not the main character, nor a villain, nor a hero.
Fair
He's
enough.
I
But
just
he
want to know if
gets
he can get me more
typecast in
cowbell.
he gets typecast in that way because he is definitely he has a very sinister look.
Yeah, that was like the same thing for, oh god damn it, Dracula, bad guy.
Bela
Gary
Lugosi.
Oldman.
No,
Gary Oldman.
no.
Then I don't know.
Was also the bad guy in the original Wicker Man.
Oh, you're talking about
And
Christopher Plum, not Christopher
Oh, Christopher Lee.
Sir Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah,
Yes.
like that man could play a villain or a hero as well.
I
that,
love them
that
on,
man was also fucking James Bond, basically.
When he was a hero, he was usually the person telling the story. Like,
Yeah,
he was the exhibition
the narrator.
person.
him and
Not
Peter Cushing.
necessarily. Like, he wasn't necessarily the narrator, but he was like the person that dumped the information on.
He was just the exposition man.
That's what I was saying, clown. What I really need to know is, can he get me more cowbell?
I want to know who let the dogs out. Who? Pull them out.
The really funny part about that song is like from what my understanding is how many people think that's actually supposed to be about ugly women at the club, but it's not.
It isn't.
It's actually about ugly dudes
Wow.
who go to the club and whatnot.
I just want to know who let these fuckers out. And I didn't. I don't remember.
So it's about letting me into the club. Got it.
Well, it's
Shut up, Bill.
it's
You are not bad
well, it's supposed to be
looking.
the one of the uglier guys who go to the club and like groups and whatnot, and they're assholes when like they act entitled and shit.
Okay, that's not me.
Yeah, basically, my ex was he and his friends used to frequent the local strip club, and they were known as were known as the Dog Pound, based on that song. Actually,
Okay, reading Doug Tenenbaum's last post. Got another movie idea. A kids show host who kills PDFs, but they mislead you first because it only shows him surveilling kids, but he's actually protecting them. Tenenbaum.
Yeah, and apparently during
at first you only see him surveilling kids, but he's actually the Millstone Brigade.
No, he's the wood chipper runner.
Well, I mean that too.
Well,
Let him branch out. You know.
well, have you heard Mitch's proposal for a Friday 13 series?
I have heard several pitches by Mitch for several
Not Friday
different
13, Nightmare on Elm Street. My bad. Where it's Freddy, the Freddy isn't the monster they make him out to be. Like he did, like it's him being framed for like touching kids and murdering kids, and he's not. And they kill him, and you come to find out like he's just an innocent guy.
So, like the plot of one of the Friday the 13th movies, if they stopped before the twist revealing that he actually was a creep.
Yeah,
Okay.
like in
Not Friday. Nightmare on Elm Street. Sorry.
the remake really, the remake didn't need to add creepy on top of monstery.
Yeah.
He's killing kids. That's enough. Like you don't need it. You don't need to layer on the ick factor. Ugh. Have y'all ever seen Tales from the Hood 3?
Nope.
I saw
Maybe.
the first Tales from the. Wait, did I see Tales from the Hood is the one.
It's Tales from the
They-
Crypt. It's just set for blaxploitation.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I saw the first one. That's the only one I've seen.
Well, they
I
made
forget
two.
which and how many I've seen. So
It's only three. Two sucks because they went woke. And the second one, the third one has Tony Todd, God rest his soul, playing a child murderer in the wraparound story.
see, every single time one of those decides to go woke, and I'm sitting here like,
Why are you gay?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
It's-
said Neil Patrick Harris, Mr. Scott. I actually think, and it's really bad because I am actually really into the actor, but I think that Matthew Gray Googler would make a good Freddy.
well, Neil Patrick Harris can really do a villain. He can.
I'm honestly of the belief though, it's like with the for Nightmare on Elm Street type thing, they should just let the series die. Like
Come up with a new scary character.
yes.
Scary Terry from the only good thing from fucking Rick and Morty.
Oh, Tales from the Hood, bro? Yeah, I remember you made me watch it. I
wasn't bad.
liked 90% of it. I did not like the one with the story with David Allen Greer. I really, really that
Oh, you talking about Walter?
I mean,
Wait,
if they're trying to do the horror movie thing, they could always go into like some of the creepypastas and whatnot, and they could do like Tommy Taffy.
oh,
Well,
I
no.
hated that with such a driving passion.
But the bigger question
I'm a
is,
Slenderman fan.
That was one of the only times that I almost turned off Creepcast.
yeah. But the bigger question is, are you gonna eat me like a bug?
But yeah, Tommy Taffy was like the only, as rough as Baraska is, it was a good story. Tommy Taffy was well told. I listened to it once. I will not listen to it again.
The photograph one was rough as well, but good. And that was
Look
like
at this
that one. No,
photograph.
it's not that because like, and
No.
and but it's kind of like the inverse of the whole thing, except for it's a told from the one guy, the kid's perspective of like him thinking about it and whatnot, to end up finding like the photo, or it's like to finding like the photographs of the person who had been following him.
You want to make Freddy scary and
I'm not
lose
sure
the
who Art the Clown.
one-liners, get the guy who plays Art the Clown. Isn't that one Terrifier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing with
Oh.
Terrifier though is like when they went with the one-liners, it was meant to be more of like the horror comedy type thing. Like Terrifier isn't meant to be a horror movie. It's just meant to be a gore movie.
It's gore porn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't do torture porn. Sorry.
Granted, I do like I did like Saw, the first Saw at least.
Well, the first Saw,
The first Saw movie, the first 2 Saw movies were good.
like the first Saw movie is definitely a horror movie because of the way it's gone through. It has the drama, it has the other stuff in there as well. Like the from what I've seen of Terrifier, well, the second one has a bit more story than the first one does. It's still meant to be a bit more like Hostel. It's meant to just be more gore porn with very little story. Like I haven't seen the second one of Hostel. I just don't care to. I watched the first one. I was like, yeah, that's good enough for me.
I saw the second one. Again, my brother made me watch it.
But
Man, Clown, why you making me watch
made you
stuff?
watch the third one yet?
No, I will not watch the third one because I literally, okay, I liked the guy that survived in the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and it was cool to see Victor Crumb play somebody who was not Victor Crumb in the second. I have no desire to see the third.
But see,
There is no real story to any of that. It is literally, these people want to fuck us up. We don't want to get fucked up.
yeah.
Escape.
But like for the whole thing with Freddy, it's the whole thing of like it's been played out. So there's really no sense of rehashing it. It's kind of like every time they want to, with the way Mitch would want to go, you could kind of rehash Halloween. But for a lot of them, it's that whole thing of like, okay, these have kind of played their course. Most of them have had some form of an actual ending. Let them rest and go with a new idea.
Yeah, Hollywood's not doing that, you know.
Oh, new ideas are hard. Destroying well-established IPs is easy.
Why do you destroy the things you love?
I'm not convinced they love them. They're doing their whole destructive thing for they're going beyond milking the cash cow to trying to beat it to death. It's the folks who got impatient and killed the goose that laid the golden egg to hopefully get the gold inside it.
Mm-hmm.
Only discover there's no gold in there, and now they don't get the golden eggs anymore.
Well, with that as well is because,
In other words, greed.
well, in all reality, it's the studios love to try to do the old wash, rinse, repeat method. And they love to it's why like when one thing comes out and gets popular, they just fucking go with it. Like when the found footage ones got popular, they went with that for the sequel
And they killed that genre.
Yep, and they killed that genre. Because like when the Blair Witch came out, what they wanted the same thing for the sequel was do a found footage thing.
The problem with movies now was actually summed up in The Holiday. You used to turn around the number of movies that comes out in 1 week now is the number of movies that used to come out in a month in the golden age of Hollywood, where stories actually were good and people actually honed their craft.
Well, it's not. Oh, I will say it's definitely a
So
time frame
you
when people hone their craft. Go ahead.
You're not putting in the time and effort and heart that is needed to create a film anymore. You're mass producing crap, get it on the screen, and hopefully find that blockbuster.
The rinse, repeat, reuse thing cycles through. You've got the
Hold on.
it's
I wanna-
cheaper than creating something new.
Yeah.
Until the law of diminishing returns kicks in far enough that, hey, it's costing you more to make than you're getting off of them.
But what I was going to say is like, there was also more because of not having streaming that people would, or I shouldn't say people themselves, but studios would use smaller budgets to try on movies. They don't really do that anymore. It's still even pretty rare to see on stuff like that for Netflix. I mean, like, look at some of the kids' movies that came out. Three Ninjas is a dumb idea. Blank Check is a
Hi, Kevki.
stupid idea for a movie, but the movie is fucking fun.
Fair enough.
Like,
And
Surf,
because you did that. Pays, ain't goober pays.
like Surf
No.
Ninjas is an extremely dumb movie, and I love it.
Yo, Captain. Yeah, certain art is stupid, but
I mean, you have Ernie Reyes Jr., Ernie Reyes Sr., freaking Rob Schneider, and Leslie Nielsen as the villain.
that's another man that plays a great villain.
Oh, that man is just a great actor in general.
Hugs.
And sup, Kefki?
That's for Kevki.
Mr. Scott out there, keep trying to get us back on target.
Oh, I mean, this movie had a great cast. They went through and got the right people for it. I actually really liked that one of their main things to do on that was to say we're not looking at we're looking beyond Hollywood for the lead actors. That was the casting requirement. Look beyond Hollywood for lead actors.
That's another thing that they used to do in the Golden Age of
Mhm.
Hollywood. You used to turn around and you were at the you would have people that were at the freaking pharmacy soda counter having a milkshake or whatever, and a casting director walked in and saw them sitting there and said, "Hey, you're cute. We can fix your teeth and uh glam you up a bit, and you can be the next Hollywood it girl."
Yeah, but then they also had the problem of like so many people think that they're going to go to Hollywood to make it rich off that whole thing. So it's like it was kind of a, I don't know what to really call it in that one, but
If they were smart enough, they turned around and invested the money they made on
yeah.
they made.
But like a lot of it's like I said is the fact that they're not willing to take chances. They always want to go for that big guaranteed box office thing. They want to rehash the same stories or the same material because it's what sold. So why would you go off something that you either don't know or remake something that didn't do well? Because like I'll still say I would love to see a second Dread movie because the remake of Dread that, stars Carl Urban is exceptionally better than the Stallone Judge Dredd. And I
But
still have an appreciation for that movie. Go ahead.
I've been sitting in on Midnight's Edge in the morning to listen to Scribe and them talk every so often, and they brought up a good fact. Hollywood isn't really creating big time actors anymore. They're not making stuff and they and marketing it as this person is in it, so it's going to be a draw anymore. We more often have foreign people like Henry Cavill and stuff like that are the big um, leading men draws to see a movie now.
Yeah, we're kind of
The
going to that
end
legacy thing.
the ending range of the American uh, leading man is Tom Cruise. Um, yeah, pretty much. Tom Cruise, what's his name? Matt Damon for the Bourne
Matt
film.
Damon.
For the Bourne film.
Yeah, compared to looking at how
But-
they used to like advertise all the Humphrey Bogart stuff and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty much the only person I know of that will turn around and be able to tell you who's in a movie that I really want to see because I want to see the movie because that person's in it anymore.
Hey, man. Matt
Oh, for most of
Damon.
the new stuff anymore, it's like I have an ad blocker. I don't watch regular TV, so 90% of movies I have no idea what's coming out.
But since the writing is shit now, nobody really.
Well, because it did the same thing a lot of other things did. It was already Hollywood was already pretty incestuous when it came for a lot of that stuff, but now as it become extremely incestuous of they only want to have theirs in there.
Sort of, I guess. But my point is that the writing is shit now, and they're not banking on the actors anymore. So there's really nothing to keep it alive. Which is really, really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the movies.
I mean, we're seeing an
Seriously.
we're seeing an uptick in like better things done on TV shows. It's one of those things that I still think kind of happens, and we're just seeing the sway away from movies right now. Like, I don't think it'll ever be completely gotten rid of.
Mr. Scott. We love
You would
the
think
movie.
you'd think he's
beginning
never watched the show.
We loved the movie. The beginning was good. The middle was good. The end was good. The Prince girl was an excellent actress given the role
Again,
that
he
she
acts
had.
like he never seen his penis.
Given the role that she had. Actually it really was well paced. I was surprised. It did not lag.
Yeah, they didn't rush it. They didn't drag it out.
Mr. Scott, let me tell you something. If we sit here and talked about a movie for an hour straight, we didn't like it. If we
No.
go off into
We
different tangents,
can't say that,
Not-
Tier. We can't
Not
say
so.
that
We had
because
Tremors stuff.
we've had the Tremors
That's true.
ones. We've also had Kiss of Death, where it was you and me and James, and we talked about that movie for over 45 minutes. Now, granted, like 40 minutes of that was us talking about how we thought that Michael Rappaport's death scene should have been extended
it should have been.
for like another 20 minutes.
Maybe another 30.
Mr. Scott, if you want something that's a little more oriented to the movie being discussed, I will be releasing videos, a video movie review starting in February.
Yeah,
And
the
When
movie.
we're just talking, the flow of the conversation is going to go in and out of the movie that we're discussing into Hollywood in general. It's just the way it is.
and I decided to suffer alone.
Because that's the way these are supposed to be. Is basically it's like, you know, people discussing a movie after they watched a movie.
It's the digital water cooler.
We tend to be a little bit free range on this show.
Mm-hmm. And not all of us are going to have all the ins and outs like Scribe and Midnight's Edge and Good Bad Flicks and a bunch of others that do shit like that.
Don't say that, brother. Do not say that. The theater is still my happy place.
Well, you get if it's done right. You know, if what you want to see has been done right, it is so much better on the big screen than on your TV or your computer monitor or anything like that.
Or your cell phone.
But it's been harder and harder and harder to find content that was worth the extra cost and effort.
So I just know that like for the theater, like going to a movie theater, I'll never to go to something like the Alamo again.
Yeah, I'm the only canine on the panel, Mr. Scott. Sorry about that. Yeah, Prince Girl was vanity. Thank you, brother. And she did really well, given that she was a singer, not really an actress.
Well, she had made her acting debut before this, and it was Prince who was the one who had her go back to her name in that one. I mean, granted, she's still using a mononym like Timac was, and it's still not even the same as her actual name.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pause at home, use the bathroom, order food. Yeah, it's got to be something really special or exceptional these days to be the go see it in theater versus the convenience and comfort of home.
Like
I don't like crowds of people.
Like I'll openly admit, I am still
Well, that's why I never. Go ahead.
I still openly admit I am still so glad I saw the first Zombieland in theaters. That I saw Scott Pilgrim versus the World in theater. I saw the first Kick-Ass in theater. I think I saw the second one that way too. There are others I wish I wouldn't have, but like it all depends on what you're going to. If I'm going to that whole thing of like because of seeing the trailer for it and whatnot, and I was gonna go see it, I wouldn't have minded going seeing Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters. I just didn't really care enough. I wouldn't have mind going and seeing John Wick in theaters because that is something I would go to for that one. Like the whole being able to order food thing is like I said, the reason why I won't go back to the Alamo. Anyone else who likes it, that's cool. They had comfy chairs. I did not like dealing with that shit of all that there. It took away from it. There are still times that you're going to go to the movie theater for the old school classic movie theater experience.
Yeah,
Agreed.
that's the theater that I go to is the only AMC that has not upgraded to the recliner seats. They have not started the thing where if you order your food in advance at the you can still pick it up at the concession stand before your movie. You do not they do not deliver it
And
in the
pause just for a
theater.
second, Angela. Later, Kefki. Have a good one.
Bye,
Thank
Kathy.
you.
Please
And
continue.
I absolutely hate the idea of somebody coming and interrupting. Like once I settle into my seat at the theater, like 5 minutes before the movie starts, do not bother me. I am in movie mode.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like part of the film or theater experience was also the trailers, in my opinion. I don't really care to necessarily see trailers on YouTube very often.
Yeah, I turn around and watch the movie thing and do the trivia and all of that. I go to the theater because I love this aspects of being in the theater. It sucks now that I end up having to go to the bathroom before the end of the movie because there is no movie that's less than 2 hours long.
That's
But
another thing I would argue that too many movies are doing nowadays. They're trying to have that big, long movie. Some movies are fine to be like 2 hours long, but honestly, you only need them to be like an hour 15 to hour 30 for a lot of them.
Yeah, you
I
get to the
went and
question
saw
of
Die Hard in the theater last year, yeah.
are you doing
And I
the
tell you,
Okay, hold on. Angela, go.
I'm answering Mr. Scott. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
and,
I did see the 35th annual release of Die Hard and the 45th annual release of Alien, and I saw the release of Phantom Menace in the theater last year, which it turned out the big screen actually didn't help that movie. I thought it might.
Hmm.
Um, But sorry. Now I will shut up. Mr. Scott, stop getting me in trouble.
So she just kept trying to talk at the same time. So I was like, okay, I was like, Angela, go. Will, go.
I was just gonna say that it's too many of them that pad the runtime just to have the runtime versus does the story really need it? Does what we're doing really need this runtime, or can we cut it back without rushing the pacing?
Mm-hmm.
Can we trim some of the
Very
fat in
true.
that movie?
The
Good.
ones that I didn't get to go see that I'm really, really disappointed that I missed, Mr. Scott, was the re-release of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. They did Fellowship of the Ring one weekend, or one day during the weekend, Two Towers the next day, and Return of the King the following day. And I was not able to go see them because they were not at one of the theaters that was within reasonable distance to me at the time. And it really pissed me off because I was still at least getting unemployment at the time.
And so, like, I'll still say, because this movie was an hour and 48 minutes long. Didn't feel like an hour and 48 minutes long because, again, it had that good pacing, good fights, fucking banging music.
Yes, it did.
Even the dumb shit they had the Angela character for Faith Prince doing, that was the kind of poking fun at Madonna because it's like make it bad but catchy, was still pretty good.
It was Malopper, and it was funny.
Yeah.
At one point, I literally said, "If Madonna and Cyndi Lauper had a love child."
Yes, except for what it was supposed to be was the look of how she looked was upon that, and then the music was supposed to be poking fun at Madonna, so it wasn't necessarily to be put together.
Fair enough.
And then I still love for just some of the lines this movie, that whole thing. You always say to not fight, so I learned how to fight without knowing how to fight.
My fist to your nuts, your fist to my nuts now. How'd you like it?
You got to remember that's like that movie comes out like 20 years later, or at least the overdubbing that they did of it. Because I'm pretty sure that was
it's just his fighting style reminds me so much of fucking him.
That was so bad.
I'm bleeding the most. We can meet the winner.
You have to remember for that one, that's in the beginning. He has the whole thing towards like he actually does get better.
No, he does. No. Oh,
yes, Johnny does.
I'm not talking about. I was thinking we were talking about Kung Fury, not Kung Fury. Kung Pao.
Kung Pao. No.
Kung Fury is a completely different movie. That's like 45
30 minutes long.
It's like not even 40 minutes or something. It's like 30, 40 minutes. And if you haven't seen that one, oh my God, I think it's still on YouTube. Go watch it.
It's amazing.
Like I said, I've got a copy of it sitting on my desktop right now.
And I know some people will give me shit for it. Like, I will actually say, I even love the theme song that was done and sang by fucking David Hasselhoff. I love how they like for the music video for that, they parody the opening to Kung Fury. Because, the cop pulls up and he's like, you got a permit for those? And they're like, we got your permit right here. Except for they have freaking Hasselhoff pop out, and he shoots them. He's like, permit denied. And then it goes in the song. Such a fun movie.
It's such a dumb movie, but it's great.
Well, I mean, it was a freaking Kickstarter production that they put together.
You're not going to bait me, brother. We'll have that discussion later.
The funny thing for the Lord of the Rings is it's actually supposed, like, People say it's 3 books. It's technically supposed to be 1 book that they put shortened in, or they cut into 3 books. If memory serves me correctly.
Well, it's
Lord
actually a
of-
saga.
And it was actually released as 3 separate books.
Yes, but when it was originally written by Tolkien, it was 1 book that they then edited down to 3 books and released as the 3. From my
That
understanding.
sounds pretty right. Kind of, sort of.
And Mr. Scott, for like more of them based in the 80s, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that if they actually put it the way the 80s is. Like, you could tell The Last Dragon was set in the 80s, but it didn't have a lot of the 80s stuff because there wasn't near as much smoking as there would have been, especially in New York. Like, that time frame, if I'm correct, you could have still smoked in the theater.
You could have.
85? Yeah, I think so.
Well,
I think they had,
yeah, I remember that's when it came out, so it was set to be in the early 80s still.
I think they shrunk it, shrunk down to a smoking section. But I believe there was a smoking section.
Because that's like them getting
to the point where there were ashtrays built.
Yeah. Because like that was like when people got pissed off about Stranger Things being like, well, they're smoking and using language that we don't use now. It's like, yeah, because it was set in the fucking 80s. It's where like I brought up the whole fact they wouldn't have called, like, the friends of the one kid in the first season wouldn't have called him a fairy. They'd have called him a fag.
Yeah, they would have.
Except for they'd have had the whole GGOT at the end of it. Well, second G.
Fag was a thing.
Yeah.
The Fugat.
Yeah, but they plausibly would have done that.
Fag was a thing.
It was a thing.
It was the slang of the time.
But there is a plausibility that they would have used that word as well to make it sound more derogatory.
Excuse me.
Like, I wasn't saying that fag wasn't used as a derogatory term. It's usually if they wanted to have it, it's one of those things, if they wanted to have it to have more emphasis, they would use the elongated version with the hard T.
That's true.
Oh.
What are you, a bundle of sticks?
I will say the whole fact of actually hearing, Sho'nuff had the whole thing of like, was it the one N-bomb drop?
He dropped like several.
I only remember the first one. Catches bullets with his teeth.
He said nigga a couple times in that goddamn, especially when he fight him. When he's fighting him. He's like, nigga, let me go, let me go.
I don't remember on that one. I just remember that one the most of like, he uses that line like twice and then it's never referenced again. It's so early on in the movie to then have it be like, he catches a bullet with his teeth. And it's the 80s, so I'm not going to criticize the fact that the gun fired without having anything actually cycle out of it. It was just special effects. Then you had like Rob Reiner's like older brother or father or something playing one of the villains in there that actually had attitude.
It looked like Rob Reiner.
No, it looked like someone who Rob Reiner was related to that actually has testosterone.
Meathead had testosterone in the 80s. He doesn't have it anymore. Such a goddamn meathead.
My goo. They took my goo.
Okay. Brother. Like the Ents, the giant birds did not get involved unless it was something that directly impacted them. The only
Alright, so,
reason they saved Gandalf from the tower was because they owed him a favor.
there's a particular reason why they didn't get involved, because they weren't protected from the corruption of the One Ring. The One Ring. They could have, and them getting hold of the One Ring would have been fucking terrifying. Like, they weren't protected from the corruption. The only reason why Bilbo and the hobbits were slightly protected, because they were kind of innocent, and that shit didn't last long.
I was gonna say, and even Bilbo was affected by it.
Well, you gotta
and
remember,
look at
Gollum, but you gotta remember
no,
something.
I wasn't even talking about Gollum. I was talking about Merry and Pippin. But
You also gotta remember two things. Bilbo spent almost 100 years with it, and Gollum spent even longer with it.
And I wasn't thinking about Bilbo. I was actually thinking about Frodo. But who was even corrupted to the point of not being willing to destroy it. The only reason he actually did destroy it was because Gollum bit his finger off, and Sam threw Gollum into the.
Well, Gollum threw himself in.
Sam just helped.
No,
Yeah,
Sam didn't help, actually.
He did. Yeah.
No.
Well, he
not
kept Gollum from taking Frodo with him, is what Sam did.
But they would have been when Galadriel was saying what she would have been like if she got a hold of the One Ring. Yeah, the Eagles would have been far worse, because they're technically divine creatures, or close enough to the divine.
Yeah, I don't
Of
know,
that
nor
world.
do I really care enough.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, I am a Lord of the Rings.
It's the whole thing. It's like, if we're gonna look at it as well, going off the books of the movies as well, while the Lord of the Rings movies, especially, like, I think it'd be the animated Hobbit and then the first 3 live action, are beloved. If you're actually gonna look at them as they're still actually adaptations of going from the book to the movie or to on screen. And I know, like I said, I know Mitch and Functional don't like to hear this from me, but in all reality, when you're looking at like a book or a comic book and people wanting to see it on screen, they're not wanting to see what the director thinks it's supposed to be. They're wanting to see the book on screen.
It's why I try not to read books before I watch them. Lord of the Rings, I was actually impressed with, because it actually got close enough that I was able to actually really love the way they presented the story.
Because there's enough of them they do that are fucking terrible. Like the Dark Tower movie was entertaining, but definitely way the fuck off.
It was not a bad movie, but they definitely should not have.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to dip out soon, because
yeah, it's been 2 hours, so we're gonna call it a day. I'm pretty sure we all are of the whole thing that we enjoyed the movie, we were entertained, and we would definitely recommend it to others.
Yeah.
I don't know about recommending it.
Yeah, whatever, Tier.
Yeah,
I would recommend it.
Tier's
Tier's
not gonna recommend it. He's gonna have a night to somebody like, you will watch this and you will enjoy it.
Yeah, he's gonna tie him to a chair. It's like, okay, time to watch it.
And it had them saying like "Last Dragon" with me.
Like their hands are tied to the thing, but he hands a piece of paper. These are the lyrics. When I start singing, you better start singing.
You better sing with me.
So we're going to get out of here, folks. There is a plethora of stuff. Also, check out Angela's, which Angela's YouTube channel is linked in the description now.
I am going to be about a week late with my first reading from Little Women, but
And then for anyone who may be looking for some gun stuff, I did put out a video last night that has some really bad footage at the end that I do highly recommend you lowering your volume because it's got a bit of a whine in it from the mixture of like the wind and what the little camera was in. Hopefully I get better footage next time. But we're going to get out of here. Have a good one, everyone. And we will see you on a whole bunch of different stuff until then.
Yeah.
Various times and places.
have a good night. Go to the theater.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Join us again next week, or you can check out the other people in the panel in the description and see us again plausibly on one of their channels, or just check out what work they've done. Have a good week, everyone.